Alright guys, welcome to another video. And before I actually start the video, we just want to fix this one issue here that I created ages ago, 2013 7.15. So you'll see it's really old, and it's so simple to fix that I already wasted so much time talking about it. The main menu is I'll just show you. So we start up our nice little application here, and as soon as we get into the main menu and we resize the window, it's not resizing really. I mean, it's still displaying and stuff, but it's not resizing to the new window size, and that's just simply because in the main menu I set the table bounds once and then that's it. Instead I want to just say table.set fill parent to true, and we are done. It will always resize itself to the stage that it's in, because the stage is the parent, and then we'll get some nice stuff like this, which is not going to work right now, right, because I have to recreate this screen. So let's go back, and there it is, and now it should resize. Perfect. So this issue is finally fixed after at least 3 years change, and we can continue with what we actually wanted to do today. So what did we actually want to do today? We want to continue with a little Box2D physics stuff here, and right now I actually did it already, but it's really this simple. If you watched my previous Box2D tutorials, you won't have any trouble. At least I hope that. So I'll just show you what I got right now. So I got this box that's just jumping infinitely. Yeah, just jumping and is happy there. I can push it around with A and D. I can't move it up or down. And the reason for that is that this series is actually still going to be a platformer. But I got so many questions about infinite jumpers, and yeah, that I just thought, why not just make the series an infinite jumper? Also, infinite jumpers are going to require a lot more LibGDX and especially Box2D knowledge in this case. So I think this is going to be okay for everyone. If you have like the super reason to not make this an infinite jumper, yeah, drop me a comment and I'll get back to it. But anyway, for now this is going to be an infinite jumper, and as you see, it's already infinite jumping, except I fall off the platform. So I didn't show you this code, we didn't write it together, so let's just quickly go over it. At first in the play screen I just replaced the car that we previously had with a player, and that's basically it. So yeah, not much new to say there. Then I created, where is it? There. No, that's the render, that's the resize, and that's the show. So there we go. Then I created this player and I set it as an input processor down here by putting it in the input multiplexer that we create here. So after all, it's just the player replacing the car, and then let's go into this player, and it's basically just having a body, obviously. Then the fixture of this body, I just put it in here so we can assess it more easily. Then I have width and height variables, velocity that you should probably know if you watched the car tutorial. We also if you watched the tank tutorial. So go ahead and watch that tank tutorial if you didn't. It's used in combination with the movement force to actually be able to move this player around. And then this is just setting the width and height that we get from the constructor, the world to be able to create the objects, and some positions. So then I just go ahead and I set the position to the body definition, create a polygon shape, set it as a box, then create a fixture def, do all the physical properties. Note that restitution is 1, so we keep jumping forever, and create these two things here, body and fixture. Then in update I just apply the current velocity, and in key down, because this extends the input adapter, in key down I set the velocity x and velocity x again, to be able to move left and right with the keys D and A. Then in key up I just reset the velocity to 0. And then we also have this get restitution and set restitution method, but we don't care about that too much. And then get body and get fixture. So you should be able to get along with that. It's going to be on Bitbucket if you want to go and have a look at it a little bit more and try to understand this more deeply or whatever. But really, if you watch my car and tank tutorial, top-down tank tutorial, which I'm gonna put in the description, you should have no problem understanding this. It's basically the same. So now there's one thing that still isn't really nice about this infinite jumper approach. And the first thing is that if we go into the play, if we move to one side, you'll notice that the player suddenly starts to rotate around, and that's really not nice. We just want him to move left and right, but not to rotate and go all like a rugby ball or something. So that's really simple to fix. We just have to go to the body definition and set the fixed rotation flag to true. And that's it. It basically just says don't rotate. And that's exactly what the player is going to do. If you go back there, it's not rotating, as you can see as soon as we get to the end of the platform. There we go. It's just not rotating. So like this, it's way more that's just way better for an infinite jumper, because we don't want the player to fall over. So alright, the next thing that we probably want to do is in an infinite jumper we don't have this kind of a screen. The screen is more like, you know what I mean, it's like this. It's like, come on, it's like this. This is an infinite jumper screen because we are concentrating on the up and down directions and not left and right. There's not much to go left and right. So let's just use a little trick and say if we're on desktop, then we would just want to do this left and right stuff here. I can talk today again. We just want to resize the window to this kind of aspect and ratio here. So in the play screen, we just want to do that in the play screen because the menus can be big, that's no problem. But as soon as we get into the play screen, we would like to go into the show method, and before we do anything, let's just say at first if we are on a desktop, because if we're on Android we can't resize the window anyway. So there's this gdx.app, and from this we can get the type, which is an application type, and if that equals desktop, as you can see we have WebGL if it's running on HTML5, iOS for, well, iOS obviously, desktop for all the desktops, applet or Android, I mean they're pretty self-explanatory. But if that equals the desktop, then we want to actually resize the window. So how do we do that? We go to gdx.graphics, and then we have the set display mode method. So this is something close to Lightweight Java game library, which LibGDX is built on top of. And the display mode is also pretty much just what the name says. So the mode everything is being displayed in. The width is going to be, I don't know, what kind of width do we have here? If this is 720 times 720, let's just say the width is going to be 720 divided by 2 or something. We are going to see how that looks. The height is still going to be 720. And there is going to be no full screen. Alright, actually that's a better idea. Let's say we get the current height and divide it by 2, and then we get the height. So we allow the user to resize the window previously, and then it just resizes back. So if you go in there now, we have this. I think this is a little bit thin, so let's say divide by 1.5. I think is that going to make it better or worse? Okay, that's not going to work because the display mode takes an int. Yeah. So let's say this divided by 1. That makes no sense. Divided by 2 is already fuck this up. Okay, so divided by 2. What does this method take? It takes the display mode or what? Int width, int height, and full screen. Okay, let's say 1.5 and we cast this to an int and we're done. Of course we have to put this in parentheses. And now it should be possible. And play, and play. And this already looks way better. So now there we go, we have the infinite jumper. And it's still looking kind of weird, because at first we can go outside of where we currently are and just fall off the platform. And that's not what we're supposed to be able to do. So we have to set the walls of the world. I'm sorry. We have to set the walls of the world to pretty much the edges of the screen. So we can't jump out of the screen. Exactly, not out of the screen. Alright, so let's go ahead and do that. We do this in the play screen because this is the place where we actually create the ground. Where is it? Where is the ground? There is the ground. And right now it's just 2 points. One -50 on the x-axis and one 50 on the x-axis. So it goes from a little bit left to a little bit right, making it a plane. We want to expand this to 4 points. So we have some kind of bucket from there to there to there to there. Alright, so let's think of some. So at first we need 1 point for the upper left corner of this kind of bucket. So let's say a new vector 2. And that's going to be -50. No. What was that? Whatever. -50. And the y is going to be 50. And in the end we want to put one more vector 2. And say 50, 50. So this is going to look a little bit different. And it's totally not working in the first place. Isn't that great? We jump over there and nothing is happening. We jump over there, also nothing's happening. Well, that's not how it's supposed to be. But yeah. I have no idea why. We should probably actually go ahead and restart this in debugging mode. And then we're going to see something that looks better. So, play. Play. And it's working. Oh wow, my god, it's actually working. So there we go. It's now jumping forever between these two walls there. So now obviously the walls still are not exactly at the window edges. So we have to get where in the world the window edges actually are, so we can create the borders, these walls here, at the correct place. So how do we do that? There's one thing that's standing between what we see and the actual world, and that's the camera. It's like converting everything from the world to this screen that we are actually displaying. So the camera knows exactly what's going on. Let's go ahead and go to the camera that we have. We have it everywhere. There's the camera, and it has this one useful method, and that is the unproject method. So what we want to do is we want to unproject the point on the left side here and the point on the right side that we use right now as -50, 50 and 50, 50, and we want to unproject them from the window coordinates to the world coordinates. At first, let's say we take these out, and these are going to be variables called upper left. That one here is going to be called upper right, and these two are the one on the ground, but we are going to take care of them as well. And then we are just going ahead and creating new vector 2s. And actually, for the camera unproject method, they have to be vector 3s, because the camera is able to do stuff in 3D space, and we'll just ignore the Z value then. So, yeah, this is going to be called up left, because this is a vector 2 array and not a vector 3 array. So up left equals a new vector 2. And we now have to give it the window coordinates. So the coordinates of this edge we have to put in here. What are the coordinates of that edge? Well, for the left, it's obviously 0 because everything always starts at 0. Remember, we now have window coordinates, so they start here in the upper left corner. This is positive y, and this is positive x. So this is at first 0 on x. That's pretty simple. Then for y, it's going to be exactly in the top corner here. But we can actually go ahead and say it's going to be a little bit bigger, so we don't need to recreate this much. But that's going to happen later anyway. So let's just say 0 as well, and actually let's say minus gdx.graphics.getHeight. So what this is remember, we're starting from the upper left corner, and then we're taking the whole window height and stack it on top of the upper left corner. So we have some space there to let the walls grow up. And since this is a vector 3, I should actually use the correct class right here, and z is just going to be 0 because we don't care about z. This is a 2D game. Then the up right vector 3 is going to be a new vector 3 as well, and that is at the other side. So it's at the other side of the window, which is the full positive on the x-axis, and on the same y. So let's say gdx.graphics.getWidth, which just lets us go to the other side of the screen, right from here to here, and we want basically the same y. So we could say again gdx.graphics.getHeight and negate it, but we could also just say upleft.y because it's essentially the same, and then we can set it to 0. Okay, so now that we have these two, we have to we even have to have another two. Upper left and upper right are going to be upright and up left. So now let's create these in the middle, and they are going to be the, let's say, bottom left and bottom right. Then we are going to create them. So I'm just going to say bot left equals a new vector 3, which is also going to be at 0 and on 0 again because it's supposed to be right. No, it's not going to be on 0. I'm sorry. So it's going to be on 0 on the x-axis, but these are screen coordinates, okay? So don't get confused like I just did. We now have to take the whole window height to be able to get from the top left to the bottom left. So we're going to add gdx.graphics.getHeight, which is the same as in the up left, just without the minus sign. So we are going downwards. And then we set 0 as z because we don't care about it. Then we need the bot right equals new vector 3, and this is going to be right there. So we have to take the full x and the full y. gdx.graphics.getWidth, just as before, and the full y is bot left.y, which is also, again, we could just write gdx.graphics.getHeight, but we are not doing it because bot left.y is shorter or something. So now that we have these 4 vector 3s, which define the positions at which we want to create the walls in window coordinates, we can go ahead and let the camera convert them to world coordinates to actually create this. So let's go ahead and get the camera. And before we can do this, the camera needs to have some more information. Right now we set the camera viewport width and height using the resize method. We are setting them in the resize method. But it would probably make a little bit more sense to set them here already. Not in render, but in show. And there's the camera, and we can set them just by passing them in the constructor. Divided by 25, just as above. And there we go. That's the viewport width and height. So now that the camera knows that, I don't even know if that was 100% necessary, but anyway, now that the camera knows that, we can use the camera.unproject method to unproject all these vectors. And this is actually returning nothing. It's just modifying the vector that we give it in. So we can just say up left, up right, bot left, and bot right. So now all these vectors that we created are unprojected, which means converted to world coordinates. Okay, so now that we have these vectors set correctly, we are going to actually create them using the create chain method. And let's see, it's just taken vector 2's of vertices. But we don't have to create vector 2's, we can also use floats, because it's taken a float array as well. So let's create a new float array, and like this. And this is just taking the vertices in x and y order. So we can say up left dot x, up left dot y, bot left dot x and bot left dot y, just the points in the correct order. Then we want the bot right dot x, bot right dot y, and then the up right dot x and up right dot y. And we should be good to go if you didn't have some problems here. What's your problem? Misplaced constructs or whatever. Terminate. I did something stupid. Oh yeah, I forgot the new. And that's it. Okay, so now we should have the ground set to the window size. Let's see if it works, or if we get a crash and I have to record everything again. So play, and play. And yes, as you can see, I mean, you can probably not see because it's hard to see on the video, but there's a really small line, a green line, on the right side, and yeah, on the left side as well. So this is now representing the actual screen size. And we can let the player go crazy inside. Okay, so now that we got that, we just need to fix the camera view, because right now we are always centering on the player, but in such an infinite jumper, for doodle jump or whatever, the camera is not always centered on the player. It's just going up or down, and always keeping like exactly this, and then it just follows the player if he goes up. If he goes down, the camera most likely doesn't even follow him. So let's fix this in the render method. Yeah, I guess. So right now we are setting the camera position to the player's body X and player's body Y, and we ignore Z. But we just want to set it to the Y position, and that's actually about it. So we are just staying on the previous Y position. We could say 0, but since we just modify the Y, we can also just take this out and delete this line, and then camera.position, which is a vector 3. So we can just assess its Y value and set this to player.getBody.getPosition Y. So how is this going to look? Yep, we can now go left and right, and we don't follow him. But it's still not really normal, because in a normal infinite jumper, we would just follow him if he moves more up than he already has been. So we need to remember what's the maximum of what we have previously been. And we don't even need to create a new variable or something like that, because we can just store that into camera.position.y itself. Let's just say if player.getBody.getPosition.y is bigger than the current camera position, .y, then we want to set it to player.getBody.getPosition.y, and else we just want to set it to nothing, so we just want to set it to what it already is, camera.position.y. And I think this is actually it already. Yeah, we see the players falling down and coming back up again. So right now he's obviously just jumping back up to the same height that it already has been. So we are not seeing any difference, and we can actually resize the window and we can see it better. We should probably make it impossible to resize later. But anyway, we now have this kind of bucket and the players jumping around it. I can also control him and the camera is not following him into unnecessary directions. What we probably want to change is this kind of, you know, jumping off the walls like this. I don't know if that really makes much sense. Usually you just stop like that, but whatever. Thanks for watching this first part that I kind of messed up or something, but whatever. Thanks for watching this first part of making this an infinite jumper game, and I'll see you in the next episode, I guess. So, alright, see you then, and have some fun coding.